We find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Today we've got a compelling AFC matchup for you, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on the Denver Broncos. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Drive starts with a run from Gibbs. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
But that run right there was an offensive line coach's dream, wasn't it? Guys picked up all of their assignments, created a nice gap for the running back to get through, pick up 7 yards. Yeah, he's probably chortling on the headset right now saying, we got it going, boys. Let's keep it going.
Play action. It's Herbert. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
3rd play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Herbert. St. Brown making the catch on the out route. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Bronco first down.
Well, you want to make sure that on an opening drive, that you at least stay out there for a while and get into the flow of the game. A 3 and out would have been problematic, but that's a good throw there to ensure they get another set of downs.
Now it's Herbert. That's caught by his tight end, Evan Ingram.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he could break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. From the 42-yard line, here's 2nd and 3. Again, Herbert. He targets Ingram for another grab. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. Another completion right there. And again, Charles, good time in the pocket. That offensive line on this opening drive been really solid.
They've been more than solid. They've really tamped down the pass rush and kept him safe in the pocket, able to look around, find his target, and deliver. He's got to make sure he tells their offensive line in the huddle, thanks, fellas, let's keep it going. That's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Over the middle, he's got his tight end, Ingram. He's brought down to the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10. This is all about testing a defense at different levels. Both the tight end and the receiver outside are going to run matching dig routes at varying depths down the field. This gives your quarterback options. He decides to go with his tight end on the shorter route, and he made the right call. Herbert now. He finds Sutton crossing the formation complete. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays. A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical. They've been crisp. And as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early 1st and goal. A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. Dobbins. And he gets halfway there down to the 1-yard line. Only a yard that time. 2nd and goal. Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step. 2nd and goal from the 1. Gibbs. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. That 2nd down play nets a -4. That's a nice example of good team defense right there. Ball was snapped at the 1-yard line. They knocked them back and caused a loss. But you notice they were trying to find any type of a gap to run through. Wasn't one available.
and they stuffed the play right there in the middle of the field.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
Will Lutz for the Broncos field goal. A 21-yard attempt.
The kick by Lutz is good. And the Broncos, the first to grace the scoreboard. It's 3-zip. So a long drive gets them down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
Following the made field goal, Lutz to kick it away. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Looking to put a drive together. Now Burrow. This one goes out wide for Barkley. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And it'll be second down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And this is going to be a Steelers first down as good running gets him to about the 44.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
It's a gain of 6. And the Steelers first down.
From the shotgun, it's Burrow. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. Second down.
You know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Here's 2nd and 10. Here's Burrow. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Steeler football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with a 1st and 10. The middle with Barkley. And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. And I think he got a yard to the 41.
You've got to be impressed by that defensive front on reps like those. They were not being moved off the line, kept their shoulders square, and gave their teammates time to fight to the ball and limit that gain.
From the 41, here's a 2nd and 8. Now it's Burrow. That's caught. Puka Nacua. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 26. A solid gain of 15 yards and the sticks move.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
Oh, they'll get this to Metcalf on the jet sweep. And he maneuvers his way down to the 3-yard line. He'll get 6 on the ground there, and it'll be 2nd and goal coming up.
It's a bit of a dangerous part of the field for them to break into their bag of tricks, but for a minute there, I thought it was going to set up perfectly for them. Instead, they don't get into the end zone, but they do pick up positive yardage.
Barkley. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
3rd and goal, Burrow. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Had an open man that time. They ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. This an easy one, 23-yarder. Boswell's kick is good, and that will tie us at 3-3. So matching field goals on our opening 2 drives.
Yeah, it feels like 2 boxers feeling each other out here in the early going of the game, right? Exchanging some jabs, but none of the heavy stuff just yet.
Each team with a possession, each team with a field goal as the kick is away. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So now the 2nd drive offensively coming up for the Denver Broncos. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. First play of the drive going for 14 and also going for a 1st down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think, a guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a tire breakdown on what the coverage was. Everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. The bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
Up from the secondary to make the tackle, Jalen Ramsey. Here's Herbert. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slam. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now 1 yard to go on 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain.
Justin Herbert looking to pass. That is caught. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. Defense was expecting run, and they're dealt a pass of over 15 yards.
And Brandon, from our time in college football, where receivers weren't running the traditional NFL route tree, one thing they did learn, find open areas, find soft spots, and set up and catch the ball. And I think we just saw that there.
Yeah, we saw that indeed, picking up the first. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
Here's 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, Herbert. And that's hauled in by St. Brown over the middle. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Here's Herbert. Throw left side, complete to Ingram. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half.
First down and goal to go.
A kicker fest so far, all points via field goals. They're hoping to change that right here. Herbert. And it's caught. A gain of 9 there. Sets up second and goal. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock will stop with 33 seconds to go in the first half. Good yardage on first down. Now can they punch it in on second and goal? They'll try to run with Gibbs. And he is not going to get in as the big bodies stop him at the 1. Now the Broncos will use their third and final timeout. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes third and goal. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. So they opted to pass for it on third and goal. Let's see what they do on fourth and goal.
Well, I think they threw it with the idea that if they didn't get it, they would go for it on fourth and goal. So they've got another play in their pocket. They're going to have to call it right now. No field goal here.
Here we go on fourth. Herbert. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. They throw for it on fourth and goal at the 1. And the Steeler defense will celebrate the goal line stand. Three tight ends in the ball game here on 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And defensively, they're just looking to keep him contained as they're able to get him down. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the giver. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Demario Davis there on the stop.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Again, it's Barkley. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up third down.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
A third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. He'll try and do this himself. Boy, he almost did that himself, but it looks like he's about a foot or 2 short. That scramble good for 13 yards, but not good enough for a first down. It's 4th.
That's the first time he's called his own number, but he's got to be overjoyed with the results. He wasn't just going to settle for a modest gain. To me, he was determined to come through with a big message to a defense that slept on him in the pocket.
Waitman now to punt as he sends this one away. Call that a 45-yard punt, just 2 yards there on the return. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Now this game, it has obviously been all about the defense on both sides of the football. Which offense is going to break through here? We'll see if they can do it on this drive. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That'll be caught. It's St. Brown. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off. Sometimes you're just rounding it. Sometimes there's a fake. Sometimes there's not. It makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it.
And just 3 yards on the catch there. He couldn't get away. And it's second down.
That's a good job there by the corner. We do talk about this a lot, that a lot of corners see their job as simply covering receivers. Tackling isn't everyone's thing. But in this case, he came up quickly and made a nice, sure tackle.
And they'll send the tight end in motion. From the shotgun, here's Herbert. And that'll be caught by St. Brown. So the completion good for just 3. And it brings up 3rd and 5 now.
Well, there wasn't much there with that hitch route. They didn't gain what they expected. But sometimes when you call a hitch, you really don't have an alternate to go to. You don't have a second route to throw it to. So sometimes you have to rifle in there and hope for the best.
To the air again, Herbert. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down.
1 first down here, and that's all, folks. Good work by this defense to hold things in check and force a punting situation.
The Broncos send out their punter now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. This is taken at the 15. 43 yards on the punt, 7-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. The crowd may be losing just a little bit of the edge after back-to-back punts.
They want some big plays. They want to see some offense. They want to see somebody break away, whether it's through the air or on the ground. Now it'll be interesting to see where the patience is on both sides. Each head coach, can you hang in there and not try and force something that could put your team in some jeopardy?
That's complete. He's got Barkley out of the backfield. And despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Heck of a play there to get to him quickly and get him down for a loss.
I think they did a really nice job getting ready for this game, scouting, watching film, and understanding defensively what the play design was.
Now it's Burrow. He finds him again, Saquon Barkley. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
From the gun on 3rd down is Burrow. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
A nice chunk play from the tight end position, and it illustrates the cohesiveness that he and his quarterback have. Both saw the extra defender doubling him up, and they still combined for the completion and big gain.
A first down carry for Barkley. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That good for 22 and a first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And past the 30, down to about the 27. 3 quarters have come and gone. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's been a tight, low-scoring affair thus far. 3-3 is our score heading into the fourth. Now a toss right to Barkley. And this time the yards won't come so easy as they'll, in fact, tackle him behind the line. It's a loss of 4. Now third down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Out of the gun, it's Burrow. Work in the middle of the field. He's got a man complete. And this is going to be another first down as they'll make the tackle at the Broncos' 18.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars. And he came through with a nice catch right there.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. Barkley, inside handoff. Down he goes at the 10 with a solid pickup of 8.
Well, Brian, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. To Barkley on the check down. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Saquon Barkley, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Steelers have broken our tie and have taken a fourth quarter lead. Chris Boswell now for the extra point. And it is up. And it's good. That'll make our score 10-3 now. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And now after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock. They couldn't ask for much more to this point in the second half. A gorgeous day, 1-score game. 1st and 10 here. And they start things off with a carry by Gibbs here. And he'll get this just across the 25-yard line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
2nd down and 6 now from the 26. Herbert now. And Sutton hauls it in over the middle. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Complete. Jefferson the target. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling has been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Back to throw here, Herbert. Got a man and he hits him in stride.
A 7-yard gain. And the Broncos first down. 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line.
Now it's Herbert. He'll go right back to St. Brown.
That completion helps out in a nice way. Now they can take a little bit more time, but guess what? They've got to make sure on their throws that they see it open, not just anticipate it.
Here's 2nd down and 3. Herbert to throw. And he will find his man Sutton. That's complete. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts, as they'll get it with just under 90 seconds remaining.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here. Throwing, Herbert. Finds his tight end, Ingram. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15. A gain of 3. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
2nd and 6 coming up. Herbert going to throw. He targets Ingram for another grab. Now the Broncos going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game.
1st and goal at the 6-yard line.
Now 1st and goal. Now Herbert. Middle of the field to Jefferson.
Sometimes it's hard to figure, but you can live with incompletions in this situation. You can't live with these short gains that take time off the clock.
You know who loves it? This defense.
Steelers 3-yard line.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. A toss out right to Gibbs. And yes, he's into the end zone. So they get the late score they needed. And now the extra point can tie this thing up in the final minute. So the toss play effective, even down here near the goal line.
Yeah, and you're hoping the defense commits too many men to stop the run in the middle of the field and that your blockers can gain a little bit of an advantage. And when they do, foot race to the pylon. And this time, he had the speed to win that race.
Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And we are tied here in the 4th quarter. This one, all we could have asked for. All tied, final minute as the kick's away here. Gets around him. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And now out come the Steelers. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the safe call is to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up the chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
He dumps it off to Barkley. And that's not what they wanted. They lose yards on 1st down. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here to decide who will be the victor.
60 minutes, just not enough some days to decide who's going to win the game.
So it's the Broncos who are going to get the first shot at things. They'll have it here as we start in overtime. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Denver's offense now set to go. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
And because offensively, you know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Lavonte David in on the tackle. Short gain there to start overtime.
Almost a tester play, wasn't it? Wanted to see if the guys on defense were going to fit the gaps the correct way, because we're in overtime. So it's not just physical tiredness out there, right? Mentally, are you still doing what you're supposed to do? And they were up to the task on that play.
And certainly fatigue on both sides of the football. They'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
It's complete on the bubble screen. That's Franklin. And a good tackle there right around the 30. Stops him short of the first down. So 8 yards on the completion there. And that's going to make it fourth down. I know they may want to go for this, but the smart play probably to punt it, even given the field position, right?
In a sense, you honor what they've done all game. And this is a defense that's held the score down, kept it tight, kept you right in it. And they're really jonesing for one more shot. Give it to them. Let them play defense for you and give you a better chance to win the game.
It's a 43-yard punt, a return of 5. And out will come the offense as they take over. And the Steelers set to take the field. Well, their defense did the job, got off the field without giving up any points. And now, Charles, all they need here is a field goal, and they get the victory.
Yeah, and this is the way I love overtime. I'm one of those really, really old school guys that like sudden death right from the beginning. But we've got it now because any points wins the game. On defense, get a safety, a pick 6, fumble return, you can win it as well. So I'm really looking forward to this series and see how both sides play it.
This being their second opportunity in overtime, third overall drive, see if they can settle into a rhythm.
And that's what you're looking for. Get a few first downs, move the ball downfield, have some confidence, get yourself in a spot where you can at least kick a field goal to win it. But I tell you this, if I'm the play caller, I'm looking at that part of my sheet that says playmakers. Get the ball in their hands, critical situation, now's their time.
It's a Pittsburgh first down, a gain of 13. Charles, you get into these overtime situations, that's not a bad guy to dial into.
Well, when you have to have plays, especially in a spot as you just described, we're in OT, you've got to go to the guys you can trust and you know are going to make the plays. Well, they said, it's not the X's and the O's, it's the Jimmies and the Joes.
Yeah, that's good for a gain of 6, and that'll make it second down.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
A give to Barkley out of the gun. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39.
Well, you know they had a third down play on standby just in case, but he says no need with that carry. Runs like that will continually earn him more work in this and future contests.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw, Burrow. A short one there to Freiermuth. And he'll be out of bounds as he gets it down to the 30 there.
And coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end, let him get some rack.
Yeah, when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
A handoff, Barkley running left. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
Well, I would have figured after the 9-yard run on the previous play, getting one more yard wouldn't have been much of a problem. But apparently it was, and now it's third down.
Play number 7 now coming up on the drive. 3rd and 5. Burrow. And he'll find Chase on the right side, complete. And he's going to be a yard short. Needed 4, but got 3.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
And now the Broncos will burn another timeout here. They'll be left with just 1 remaining here at OT. So on now for the field goal try, Chris Boswell. This to win it in overtime. And he got it. The kick is good in overtime. He's able to split the uprights. And the Steelers have won the game. And for the visitors, it is going to be a happy flight home. It is always such a treat, Charles, in the NFL when you can go on the road and get a victory, and that's exactly what they accomplished here today.
The trip home so much sweeter, isn't it? All the noise they heard before, how tough it is to win on the road, how tough it is to play in this stadium, how hyped up that crowd's going to be. They just used it as fuel, came in full confidence, believed in themselves, and got it done.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon, everyone, as we say so long from Denver.